Alright guys, today I'm working on this Toro self-propelled lawnmower. Just a tune-up, oil change, sharpen the blade. So what I did first is I took off the air filter, took off this cover that covers the power drive. Here's the air filter, pretty plugged up, gotta be replaced. Cover, just 2 bolts hold it on, one here, one there. Took that off, there's a bunch of grass underneath there. Really grass and crap. I hosed it all down, washed it all up. What you do is make sure to plug the intake with something. Which I already washed mine, so I can take that out. And so next we gotta fire it up and clean out change the oil on it. Sorry. Well, maybe let's not start it up. Let's see. Oh, there's something going on with it. She said it ran, but I guess not. There's no primer or anything on it. It's got the smart choke. Let me fiddle with it and see. Alright, I got it started. Not running too good. The way I got it started is I held the choke on a little bit. I got it started up. If I turn the choke on it. Now the choke's fully open. And it's not running right. It's harder. Alright, let's try popping the bowl off and see if there's any junk in the main jet in that. First of all, let's take off our air box. We got 3 bolts here. Five 5/16. Magnetic part tray. Now I should pull right off of here. Pretty scummy back there. Alright, so something's already been fiddled with in here. The fuel clamp has been moved. Never got put back on. I don't know by who, but I'm going to clamp off the fuel line with some pliers. There's a heat shroud that's bent down here. You see that back there? Something's been fiddled with on it. Alright, now I get something to catch the gas. I'm just going to put a rag underneath here. Get a 1/2-inch ratchet. And here comes the gas. Just let that drain out for a minute. Alrighty. Finish taking this nut out. A little bit of junk in here. See a little bit of stuff floating around, not too much. Here's your main jet, is in the bowl nut. Really tiny holes. It looks pretty clean. Oh. Guess this ain't clamped tight enough. There we go. Looks like we're gonna have to take it off and give it a full cleaning. There's nothing really wrong under here. Alright, let's get taking this carburetor off. There's 2 bolts here. One way back in here. They're both 3/8, one over here. I pulled the fuel line off. clamp was already moved back. I just took some pliers and pulled it off. Pull that out of there. Bolt 1, and bolt 2's way back and in here. And number 2. Then pull this down here. See up and in here, the bolt that holds this on. That's also been screwed with. That's not down tight. That's lifted up. Alright, now I'm going to take off this top cover up here to make it easier to get to everything. There's 2 screws, one over here, one back and over here. Then you should just be able to lift up and it pulls right back. Alright, now we can take this lever off of here, which is a 1/4 inch bolt, not even tight. Someone was in here and didn't do nothing right. Take that off, and now you should be able to slide it down and give it a little twist so it'll pop right out. Alrighty, let's get this cleaning. Now I'm going to take some compressed air and blow this junk off here. Alrighty. Alright, now we can finish disassembling it. Before you take it apart, make sure your float is working good, which mine is. Now you can take this float bowl pin out. It's just a little metal pin, slides right out. You can tilt it in this direction, pull out. There's your float and needle. It's that and that. Now you pull your bowl gasket off of here. Be careful so you don't rip it. That's pretty much it. Alright, now I'm going to put my carburetor in this carburetor cleaner. Drop that in there. The only other piece I'm going to put in there is the main jet. Just the carb and the main jet. Now let that soak for half an hour. Alright, we're back. I got the carburetor all cleaned up. Got it out of the cleaner, washed it all down with brake cleaner and carburetor cleaner, compressed air. We're all clean. Now it's time to reassemble it. First of all, get your bolt gasket. Put that back on. Now we can grab your float, your needle, drop that back down in here. Jam your pin back through. Center it up. Focus, you see it in there. Make sure it's all working freely. And now we put our bowl back on here. Jet, clean that all out too. There we go, carburetor's put back together. Now if you move it up and down, you can hear your float working. Make sure that didn't get jammed. Alright, let's put it back on the machine. Alright, we're back. I got this all cleaned up, all ready to go. Now there's this little O-ring that sits right on the intake side, the throttle butterfly side. So I'm just going to slide that on here. That's where it's supposed to be. If I came off on the carburetor, you gotta really watch that. Now make sure you get your carburetor oriented the right way. The tapered side could go towards that O-ring. Now you put your throttle back in. There's a little rubber grommet. Put that back on. Line it up. Now let's put the bolts back in. There's one. Here's the other one. Alright, I got that one in, a little bit screwing around. Now we can tighten them up. Alright. They're all tightened up now. Now we get the choke back on. That little pin here will sit right down that groove. Just like that. Now you screw your top bolt back in here. Make sure you get this pretty tight. It's a shoulder bolt, a giant shoulder bolt, so you can tighten it as much as you want, it's still going to move. Pretty tight, don't have to be super tight. I'll make sure that works. Now we got our throttle linkage back in, our choke back on, our two carb nuts back on. Now we put our fuel line back on here. And that's back on. Take the clamp off now, let the fuel. Fix your fuel line there. Alright, now I'll get this clamp back on, slide it all the way up, and then we'll take the next step. Alright, now next we gotta put the air box back on. There's this little nipple here. Gotta line that up with this tube down here for your crankcase breather. Make sure your gasket's on here. Put that right back on. Alright, just like that. Now your 3 bolts. Last one up here. I'll tighten them all up. Alright, now we can put this top cover back on. Slide it right up. There's a little hook right back in here. Get that in. Now we tighten up these screws. Alright, now we can start it up and see how it runs. Alright, let's fire it up and see how it runs. Oops. running pretty good. I just gotta get a new air filter for it, put that cover back on, and she'll be all set to go. Now I just gotta change the oil and sharpen the blade. Alright, I got the mower all nice and warmed up for the oil change. So to get started, take your dipstick, crack it loose like that so some air can get in. Now you gotta get up on some jack stands or something. I got mine up on jack stands. I'll put it underneath here. There's a drain plug. Right up here. You just take the end of extension from a socket. That'll fit right in here. Get something to catch the oil. There she blows. It only takes like half a quart of oil. Now let's let that drain good and out until it all stops dripping out. Then we'll put the drain plug back in. Alright, it's all done dripping out. Now we put our drain plug back in. We tighten it up pretty good. Wipe it all up. Alright, now let's add oil. Alright, takes half a quart of oil. I got some 1030 here. Half a quart's left in it. So I can dump this whole thing in there. Alright, now I'm just going to let that sit there and drain. Alright, let it drain nice and good. Now let's give it a check. Make sure your mower's on a level surface while you do this. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I can see it's right on. It's right up to here. We're all good to go. Alrighty, got it all done. I put a new air filter in there, got a new front cover on, washed it all down, I sharpened the blade. It's all ready to go. That's how you do summer maintenance to your mower. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you liked the video, and have a nice day.